Yo, what's good, YouTube? I bet y'all wondering, y'all like, where you been, man? What's up? A lot of my friends probably wondering on Xbox Live where I've been. I've been on a little hiatus. I haven't been playing any shooters. Like I said on Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, you wouldn't know what I said. But I said I'm taking a break from shooters. The next shooter I will buy is Gears of War 3. I am gonna buy that game. It's probably the only shooter I'm gonna buy this year. Probably not buying Marvel vs. Capcom. Probably not buying Modern Warfare 3 because I'm getting back into fighting games. A lot of y'all may not know I grew up on fighting games. Super Street Fighter 2. No, Street Fighter 2, not Super. Street Fighter 2 was the first game I played. Then I played Super Street Fighter 2. Then I played Super Turbo and all. Super Turbo was probably the best fighting game, the most balanced fighting game ever made. But anyway, I'm not gonna get into that. This gameplay right here is Gears of War 3 beta. We're playing against a full team of retro sawed off. So you'll see me switch to my retro sawed off and yeah. But anyway, I'm not gonna talk about the gameplay any. What I want to talk about is Evolution and the goings ons of Evolution 2K11. How great that tournament was. The tournament was great. I was on Twitter the whole weekend. Didn't sleep the whole weekend. I watched the entire Super Street Fighter 4 AE tournament, and I watched the entire Marvel vs. Capcom 3 tournament. And not only did I watch those tournament games, I watched the after hour games where they call it the salty sweet. When you lose and you get to play each other. And shout out to Filipino Champ because, like Filipino Champ said, he said everybody was talking about the United States is free to Japan and whatnot. And Champ said, I've been beating these motherfuckers for 2 years. The only way they beat him is with OP characters. And everybody that he played that didn't use Yun or Fei Long, he put him on blast and he beat him with Dawson. And when you watch his Dawson play, it's in my opinion, he's the best Street Fighter player in the world because he plays Dawson, and he fucking when what's his name, Daigo. If you don't know who Daigo Yumihari is, you probably don't want to listen to this commentary because you don't know much about fighting games. But anyway, Daigo is probably the best Street Fighter player of all time. And anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about that. But Filipino Champ has been beating Daigo for 2 years before Daigo switched to Yun. He was using Ryu and he was owning Daigo money matches in tournaments, whatever. He was beating him. Filipino Champ beat everybody. He's like I said, in my opinion, he's probably the best Street Fighter player in the world. But Dawson has horrible matchups, and Fei Long and Super Fei Long was like a 7-3 matchup for Dawson. And AE is just even worse. It's probably like 8-2 now. And Dawson and that's what Filipino Champ said. He said, I'll play 6-4 matches all day, but I'm not playing 7-3 or 8-2. There's no point in playing. And if you don't know what I'm talking about right now, it's just if you're a 7-3 matchup against somebody, you should win that matchup. You should win. You should beat that person 9 out of 10 times. If you're 8-2, you should beat them all the time. But anyway, I think Hakan and Dawson and Super was 9-1, the first ever 9-1 matchup. But anyway, Evo was amazing. Even though Mortal Kombat, which is garbage, Mortal Kombat will be dead by January. Anyway, even though Mortal Kombat, and AE has completely OP characters, the tournament was still great. I was disappointed in. I knew Evo was gonna have a lot of Yun and a lot of Fei Long, but I didn't think it was gonna have as much. But people are cheap, and that's why I give shout out to Combo Fiend. He doesn't use Wolverine or Phoenix on his Marvel team, and he finished top 4. And I tweeted, I said, in my opinion, Combo Fiend is the Evo champion. He doesn't use cheap characters, OP characters, and he still beat everybody. And he barely lost to, I think he lost to a Phoenix and Justin Wong. I don't even know who the Phoenix was. Don't even care if it's a Phoenix. I just give you a Phoenix. I don't even give you the time of day. Because if you use, only person that I don't get like salty with who uses Phoenix is Clockwork, because Clockwork actually isn't just mashing on jab and teleport. He's actually playing Phoenix, and it trips me out because I got a lot of my tweets retweeted by the dude that runs Get Your Tournament, and I didn't even know it, but I tweeted him. I was like, yo, Phoenix is so broken, it's ridiculous. I said even if she had 200 health, she'll still be extremely broken because if she lands 3 hits on you while she's in level 3 X Factor, you're dead. And even out of level 3 X Factor, she hits a 3-4 hit combo, launches you into her super. She kills just about everybody in the cast, except for maybe Hulk and Thor. But Hulk and Thor have no chance at all of beating Phoenix. You have to get extremely lucky to beat a Phoenix with a Hulk or a Thor. But anyway, y'all probably wondering, what have I been doing? What I've been doing is I've been on my separate account. Not ThaLouisianaKid, not VIP Man, not IXI Man, none of my accounts, but I've been on a different account playing Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I don't have AE yet. I will be getting it, but I haven't been playing online at all. I've been only in the training room. And the team I'm running right now is Zero, Dormammu, Dante. And I love Dormammu's Black Hole Assist because it blows up Wolverine. And, you know, well, as much as you can blow up Wolverine. But I'll get into that later. What I want to do right now, I want to give a quick shout out to a Street Fighter 4 player named Broly. This dude, you know how Asuka Kappa, I think he plays with his face in Call of Duty? Well, this dude right here plays Super Street Fighter 4 AE with his mouth. And not just play. I'm not talking about just play. He plays it at a tournament level. He did a money match, I think, with Daigo in the Salty Suite. And I think he took a game off of him with Chun-Li. It's one of the most amazing things in gaming I have ever seen. Never seen somebody play a Street Fighter game. A game that takes so much skill to play with his mouth. You've got to be kidding me. But that just shows you the fighting game community is so far and beyond the shooters. To me, at least to me, it's amazing. I mean, it's ridiculous how good those dudes are. And but what I want to talk about again is another thing is go back to the Young Yang. Well, it wasn't really any Yangs because it seems like these developers made these games to where they're getting away from, you know, tournaments and they bringing in casual fans. And you know, everybody wants to make money. It's not just shooting game developers, it's everybody. And they're putting these characters in the games that anybody can use. And you know, the pros are only going to lose to these characters so much before they start using the characters. So that's why you saw 21 out of the top 32, 21 of them were Yan and Fei Long. And Fei Long was not bad in Super. He was still top tier, but he wasn't God tier like he is in AE. And I was in the party talking to Trey. And Trey knows I be Matrix, if y'all don't know who he is. It's my boy. Been gaming with him for a long time. But anyway, we get into parties and we talk about Street Fighter because he loves Street Fighter too. And anyway, we was talking about, I said, fuck Yan, you know. And he was talking about Bison beats Yan. I was like, Bison can beat Yan, but he doesn't beat Yan. He's not a true counter to Yan. I think Zangief is the only true counter to Yan. And shout outs to Flash Metroid for making top 8 in Super Street Fighter 4 AE with Zangief. Everybody's talking about he was washed up. He made top 8 at Evo with Zangief. And trolling everybody. Just trolling everybody with Zangief and made top 8. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying. Yan is more brain dead. That's what I tweeted to Ski Sonic. He was one of the announcers and he replied back. I said, yo, Ski Sonic, I said, who do you think is a better character? Because, you know, I've been arguing with a few people about it. I said, I think Yan is more brain dead. But I think Fei Long is clearly a better character. And he said he thinks Yan is a better character. But that's what he tweeted before. He said he thinks Yan is a better character. He has more high risk. He has to take more risk than Fei Long does. But his reward is so high after he takes the risk. And his risks are pretty safe. I was like, nah, Fei Long is better. And then after the tournament was over, when Fei Long won, he said, maybe Yan is overrated. I sent him a message back. I was like, Yan is not overrated. He has fucking safe rush punch. Dive kick is pretty safe. His EX shoulder is amazing. Everything about him is amazing. I said, except for his health. I said, but the fact of the matter is, Fei Long is just better. Because nobody in Super Street Fighter 4 AE dominates the mid-range game like Fei Long with those records. And then not only does those records dominate the mid-range game, if he gets a combo with the records, with the full 3 records, he pushes you 75% across the screen. So if you're in the middle of the screen, if he lands a record combo, you already in the corner, and you don't want to be in the corner against Fei Long against that record pressure. So, you know, that's why to me Fei Long is just a better overall character. But you know, Evo was amazing. I want to give a shout out to Latif, the American, the last American left. He finished second. He lost to Fudo in the finals with Phelan. His Viper is amazing. I think it's safe to say, I thought Wolfcron was the best American player, but I think it's safe to say that Latif is the best American player. And Latif used to have a reputation of being free at tournaments. You know, I remember I watched a lot of streams and a lot of tournaments, Street Fighter, and you'll hear the commentator saying that Latif was free at tournaments because, you know, you can see a lot of his videos get posted online of him beasting online, but online is a completely different ball game than it is at tournament because they play offline, because, you know, the lag online you can't execute like you can offline. But anyway, and a few commentators used to say he was free, and then but for the last 6 months it's hard to find a tournament that he hadn't won. I mean, everything he enters he does well in. I think at Revelation he finished third or fourth behind Daigo won Revelations and Mago finished second. I think Latif might have finished third, but anyway. And, you know, Evo, he finished second to Fudo. Latif just been blowing it up for the last 6 months. Leveling up. Shout outs to him. He's amazing. And, yeah, but, you know, Evo was great, dude. And not only Evo was great, what was better than Evo was the salty sweet to me. The after hour sweet, when you had all these money matches and whatnot, people getting blown up. Like I said, Filipino champ. He beat the best Sagat. Supposed to be the best guy in the world. He fucking dominated him, beat him free, and then his match with Mago, he played Mago Sagat, and people's like, Mago don't play Sagat, Mago play Phelan. In vanilla, Mago plays Sagat. That's the whole thing about Japan, though. Everybody say, like I said, everybody say Japan blew up the United States. Japan always use God tier. They always use God tier. They use the best characters in the world, and the United States is known for not really using the best characters. We use, you know, good characters, but we don't use like the best characters. And they come over here and they beat us with those God characters, and everybody talking about the U.S. is free. And like Filipino champ said, I've been beating these motherfuckers for 2 years with Dawson. He said the only time that he lose is when somebody picks God tier against him, and he showed in the Salty Suite he was beating everybody. But his match with Mago, it's on YouTube. It's on the Overhead Greg channel, and I think that might be Combo Fiend's channel. I'm not even sure, but anyway, I don't want to, you know, go to just guess about that. But he beats Mago Sagat, and Mago Sagat is amazing. Only person I've seen that throws fireballs like Mago is John Choi, and he beat Mago Sagat. Both of them were playing godlike. He beat him 3-2. If you haven't seen that match, check it out. That was in the Salty Suite. Yeah, man. I mean, the Salty Suite had some amazing matches. It had a pretty good a girl player. She's a female Street Fighter player named Sherry, and she has a pretty good Viper. And she choked against Punko. Punko played. He played against Sherry. And they were playing 1st-3, right? He wasn't playing Seth at first, but Sherry had beat him, and she was at game point, so he switched to his Seth. And she could have beat his Seth. And that one game that he switched to his Seth, well, it was more than one, but she could have beat him. She missed her super. If she landed her ultra or super, whatever you want to call it, she would have won. She guessed him right. She baited the DP. She hit him with the EX Seismo, but she couldn't. She canceled into try to execute the super, but she missed execution, and Punko came back and won. And shout outs to Punko. If y'all didn't see, Punko blew Daigo up on stage, beat him 2-0. The last round of the match, he perfected him. He blew Daigo up. It was crazy how bad he blew him up. And not only that, Punko kind of lost the tournament for himself with his showboating, and he was blowing Fudo up. And he missed one. He was showboating, and he missed one execution error against Phelan. And you don't want to do that because Seth only has 720 health. And when Seth landed that, when he missed that execution error, Fudo landed a big combo, then landed a couple more hits, and he was dizzy, and the round was over. And after that, Punko's whole playing style changed. He wasn't being the aggressive player who just throws DP, unsafe DPs with no meter. He just throws them. Fuck it, just throw that DP. You know, he was just doing it. Just do it. But he wasn't doing that anymore, and I was like, wow, I hope he goes back to himself. But, you know, it seemed like that shook him for the rest of the tournament, and he finished third. I think he finished third. No, he finished fourth. He finished fourth. Fourth or third, anyway. Shout out to Punko. He blew it up. I thought he was going to win. you know, but the machine ended up having an oil leak. But you know, Latif was godlike. I love that. And you know, I want to talk about Marvel for a second. Marvel people, I've been getting love and hate all day. I've been arguing with people all day because I called Viscount a fraud, and somebody said I called him a scrub. I said no, I called him a fraud. I said a scrub does not win Evo, but a fraud can. Viscount was always a good player. I think he finished top 8 at Evo in Marvel one time, but he was never on, you know, Justin Wong's level, Combo Fiend's level, you know, those players like that. He was never on their level at Marvel until this year when you have a character that's completely broken in Phoenix that he uses. And not only that, he uses the third best character in the game as his front character, who in Wesker. Then not only that, he uses arguably the best assist in the game, which Hager Lariat, because it's invincible until Hager get ready to leave the screen. You could punish it. You could punish that assist when he's leaving, but until then, you can't punish it. And not only does Hager Lariat is it invincible, it's a hard knockdown. And anybody that knows about Wesker loves hard knockdowns. But anyway, his team is cheap, the cheapest team in Marvel history, and he won with a Phoenix, and I give him no respect. And some people loved it, some people hated it. Oh well, that's just my opinion, you know. And I said that his Evo championship should have an asterisk by it. And some people love what I said, and some people hated it. And you know, I just take it as that. Anyway, I want to talk about Wolverine and Phoenix for a minute. I really didn't want to spend much time talking about Wolverine and Phoenix because anybody that plays Marvel know they're completely brain dead. Especially Wolverine probably is worse than Phoenix because Wolverine, fresh out the box, is a completely broken character. I mean, his dive kick is unbelievable. His Berserker slash has like, I think 15 frames of invincibility, so it's hard to keep him out because I don't know if it has that many. It might have that many. I don't know. I have to look. But anyway, his Berserker slash goes through projectiles, and when he hits you, he cancels into Berserker charge, and then he continues the combo. He launches you, hits you with a combo, then he knocks you back down to the ground, and then here comes level 1 X Factor. After level 1 X Factor lands, he kills that character. And then he charges into a Berserker charge again, because he will have built enough meter to charge into it again. And after he charges into a Berserker charges again, good luck trying to block Wolverine and Akuma assists. Only 2 people I saw block it, and they were Justin Wong and Sanford Kelly. And those are the 2 best Marvel vs. Capcom 2 players ever. And the only thing that carried over from MVC2 to MVC3 was defense. The game is nothing like MVC2, which is disheartening. But the good thing about the fighting game community is Ono, the man of Street Fighter, said that a balance patch is coming out for AE, and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is coming out, I think, November 12th to rebalance Phoenix and Wolverine and X Factor in general. So, you know, it's great things coming out. All in all, Evo was absolutely fantastic. The Street Fighter tournament was way more hyped than Marvel tournament for the first time in years. That just goes to show you that Marvel was so ass, and people just were not really hype. It was some hype moments, like when Pure Raw landed that level 3 on Phoenix to reset the bracket. That was fucking godlike. He landed his Tron level 3, but you know, and Justin Wong's 1 pixel of health Akuma comeback against I think it was X-Ray. I'm not really sure. Can't remember, but that was godlike too. That's why people don't complain about Justin Wong using Wolverine Akuma, because he's fucking godlike at the game, and he invented Wolverine Akuma. But anyway, I'm coming to the end of this commentary. Didn't even know I just happened to turn around. Check out Evo. I'll leave y'all some Street Fighter channels in the description that y'all can check out. Anyway, man, I'll get y'all next commentary. Peace. I'm out.